Welcome to my show, Musings from 20th Street. I am Dr. Jane Goldberg. I'm a psychoanalyst in New York City, and I am the owner of La Casa Day Spa on East 20th Street. It was the first holistic day spa in New York City. We are here for the 19th session of the Really Real Reality group therapy show. So in the last session that we did, one of our group members, Carol, opened up quite a bit about a man that she had kind of been pining away for. That might not be an exaggeration of how she was feeling. I think she mentioned for 17 years. And I talked a little about a relationship that I had with a man that I kind of had twittering in my heart whenever I would see him, and talked about the influence that my analyst had on me when she suggested that I might be really fortunate to have these feelings towards someone on the planet. So I thought we would talk for a moment about how people influence people, because she had influenced me to feel very differently about it. Instead of being tortured about having this unrequited love affair, to actually feel pleasure at the fact that I had these feelings, and what a wonderful thing it was that I could have these feelings. So the way that I know of, I think that most emphatically influences people, has the ability to influence people, is following a principle that I have referred to in past shows called contact functioning. And what I mean by contact functioning is that you do not say things to people that they either don't want to hear, or are not ready to hear, or can't process. And that you follow what it is that is tolerable to them. You follow their ego and what is acceptable to their ego. And you temper your communication so that what it is that you're saying is what it is that they can process and can be useful to them. So after this session, I started to feel a little bad about what I said about my analyst being able to influence me, and I think I even said something about having had a very powerful relationship with her. And then I wondered, well, I kind of was saying that maybe I don't really have the ability to influence Carol in the same way that my analyst influenced me. Well, I was with my analyst for 30 years, so maybe it goes without saying that she influenced me more than I've been able to influence Carol. But in any case, I thought I would open the discussion today by asking Carol whether or not I had influenced her to feel differently about this relationship, to have it come to be a pleasure instead of a pain. So a group, here we are, 19th session, and that's my first question to Carol.
I heard what you said.
Yeah.
And I did listen. I thought about it this week.
I'm happy to hear that.
And I can celebrate that I am able to have these feelings of love so strongly for another human being. I would say that it's unconventional love. You know, I love this man. But it's still sad to me that we are together.
Mm-hmm.
So part of what you said helped, but I don't know if anything ever will help the other part. You know, I mean, I don't know.
So maybe I should be satisfied with that it is painful and that it will continue to be painful, and that I need to accept that about you.
No, because that's not healthy.
No,
To
I
let her
shouldn't.
continue to be in pain.
I shouldn't accept that.
No. Well, I don't accept that. Maybe you should, but
I dreamed that David came to the group.
No, God, no.
Jesus Christ.
No.
Please, no more
Oh
than
my God.
That's so
Madness.
interesting.
I
So
really have to announce my disagreement with that, Jane, very strongly, that it's not healthy for her to feel that feeling.
What's that?
Wait, this is
That's,
Kay.
that is,
Kay.
Kay, I'm sorry.
you're disagreeing with Kay.
Yeah, you say it's not healthy for her to feel that feeling.
But
That's
to
not
be in
what-
pain and tormented for a long period of time.
not healthy.
Emotional
It's not
feelings I
healthy.
have learned from a few sources, including my own experience. They don't go away by somehow saying it's not good to feel this pain. It's not
No.
healthy to feel this pain.
I agree.
Or by willing them to somehow. They'll go to another place that you keep
I didn't shush.
unconscious.
I didn't shush
No,
her,
that's not what
Walter.
she means.
I just said
She
it's
needs
not
to
a
move
healthy
on.
place.
I think that
just
is what
by-
you mean, even if you didn't consciously mean it that way. I think that's what you imply by saying that.
I think she was just telling Jane it wouldn't be healthy
Yeah.
of her to support my sadness.
Right.
Or to continue to propagate it,
Propagate.
or in some way not find a way to alleviate it.
Mhm.
It's like having a broken arm. If I come to you with a broken arm, and I'm saying my arm is broken, and you refuse to help me put in a cast or show me how to heal it, well, then my arm will remain broken, and that's not a healthy place.
That's not the same as an emotional feeling that one is feeling without like an overt large physical
Emotional
injury.
feelings are very painful, Walter.
I say that the
Worse than
sadness
physical.
feeling needs to be felt all the way to its source.
17
I'm not
And
saying
years.
that it
that will
doesn't.
be that-
I'm not saying that it doesn't, but there's got to be a beginning and a middle
Right,
and an
and
end.
an end.
Life is about
Absolutely.
beginning,
It
middles,
does.
and end.
Walter,
does.
it's 17 years, and I said to you last week that, you remember I said to you, is he sitting around
I just
crying
wanna
over
make-
you?
I want to make comment, Barbara. You're doing a very good job at this moment because you actually got the floor so that everybody's listening to you as opposed to kind of piping in the background and you not being heard. So if you're going to talk, it's advisable that you talk in a way that people are going to listen and hear. Okay, so I interrupted.
All
What-
right, but I'm just saying.
You can
that-
hold the feeling in stasis
Well,
for
wait,
more
let me,
than
can I finish?
17
Wait, let me,
years.
yeah, no.
Well, that's a
I
little
said
nutty.
that right now.
Can I
Then
finish
you
saying?
can make
Let
your
her
way
finish.
up back to Bellevue, too.
Yeah,
She's on a
right.
roll, baby. Let
Yeah,
her do
let
it.
me talk, please. I said this because somebody had once said that to me when I was pining over an unrequited relationship for years. And she said to me, what do you think he's doing right now? Do you think he's sitting around feeling sad and having unrequited feelings about you right now? I said, probably not. He's probably long moved on. And she said the same thing for me. Because you have so much to offer people. You have a good heart. You're attractive. You're intelligent. He doesn't deserve you, and this is how you have to go. That's how you get over it, because that's how I've gotten over. I've never been in love my entire life, so you know what I mean.
I have trouble thinking that he doesn't deserve me.
So why don't you-
I'm not mad at him. You guys were kind of encouraging me to like go choke him or something.
No.
Yes,
I
I think
don't think that-
actually we offered to
we
do it
did-
for you.
Yeah. Why don't you
Lose his
And
number.
that it doesn't fit at all with who I am or how I'm feeling. And the fact that I said 17 years, yes, I met him 17 years ago.
That's a long time.
And I fell
Yes,
in
it
love
is.
with him that night. And I always loved him from then on.
But he doesn't love you.
Well, wait a minute. Well,
Well-
there's any man can be gotten, ladies. I mean, come on, ladies. You can come up with a war plan.
No, not, that's,
No,
I don't agree with
that's
that.
not
Especially
necessary.
if they don't
Our
have the same
relationship has
feelings.
had so many ins and outs, and finally we lived together. And then when I left the city where we lived after many years, I mean, I only lived with him less than a year, 10 months, 8 months, 10 months. But anyway, when I left the city, I tried to move on, you know. And
You left him?
Yeah, I left the city.
What do you mean? You left him?
I
and
told
left
him,
the city?
I said, if you give me a reason to stay, if you tell me that you'll miss me, or if you tell me that you want me to be here, I'll stay. And he said, I think you should go. It's your dream. I said, no, my dream is to be
Oh,
He
that's
said I should go.
that's a completely
Carol,
different
you
story.
left him. He didn't dump you.
You
He
left
thought he
him.
dumped you.
He couldn't have said that.
Never.
should've
A
said
guy
it.
would never
Say
say
it.
that.
He couldn't have said what you wanted to hear.
No way.
He had
Oh,
to say
so
what he
now it's
said.
different.
Yeah.
It's
I
different.
know.
I didn't know you should
I
have lived with him.
know. I get it. What I don't understand what you think I held back on.
No.
No. You left him. I thought he.
Carol,
left
you
you.
asked him to do the impossible thing.
Yeah.
He
There's
could,
no way
he
would
could
have
never
said those-
try to, I mean, if
Not
he's a
gonna
real
keep
man,
There's no way.
he wouldn't try to, put you in a birdcage. He had
Right.
to say, you need
Had
to
to
follow
go.
your dream.
And your heart.
That's
Which
right.
you did.
There's
and
no
you
way
left-
he was
you
going to tell
dumped
you why
him.
he needed to
I
stay.
didn't dump him.
You left him.
Well, anyway.
She's not wrong.
You left him. I
She's
know.
a little
She's
strident
But
about
if
it,
I
but
would have stayed, it's not that
So
we
the-
would have continued to be this happy couple. I was confused. When he lived with me, it's not because he wanted to be with me. It was because he was down and out. He
Oh.
always had lots of money and freedom, and all of a sudden he had nothing. And I said, look, all my girls are gone. I have this big house. Come stay at my house. I love that.
So you supported him.
So I did. I
Oh,
supported
boy.
him in every way for about 8 months, and
Well, that's nice. That's a
and
nice thing to
I
do
got
for somebody.
confused. I
Right?
felt happily
I wish
married.
somebody would just have
I was so confused, and he didn't. He felt that I was the soft place to fall, and he could get his feet back on the ground, and that was that.
He didn't love you? Did he tell you
He
loved
did
you?
love. He does love me. He told me a month ago.
So does he ever
we
tell you he
talked, and
wants
he
you
said
back?
You're messed
all
up.
kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Does he want you back?
No,
Oh.
No.
Because you left
I don't
him.
blame him.
Yeah, because
he's
his
never
pride is
been
hurt.
married. He's always alone.
Oh,
I
that's
have
not
friends
good.
still in the same city that say, "I saw your man tonight."
No, that's not good.
and he's always alone. He's,
It sounds like he's a commitment phobe, and that's a very dangerous man.
I think so. I think he loves women,
Well,
and I think he loves
so
to
does
meet
George
new
Clooney.
women and have those introductory feelings and everything about a woman.
So
and I
here's a
think
theory.
That's what he likes.
Here's the theory. You knew he was going to break your heart, and you made the decision first.
I couldn't take it anymore.
You saw
It
it
had been
coming.
years,
Mm-hmm.
and he wasn't willing to really get on board with me and share his life with me.
Well, Carol, how many times have you been married?
Twice.
Okay.
Oh, boy. Have
So
you
your
learned
track
from each
record's
one?
not that hot either.
I'm not ashamed of it. I was very young when I got married. We had 3 beautiful little girls, and I would do everything all over again. He's a good man, and I'm not ashamed of it. I have no
No, I
regrets.
mean,
No,
you're
I just
ashamed.
mean, I don't think that it makes my track record not so good to have been married twice. I was very young.
No, divorced twice, not married twice.
Okay, divorced twice.
That's not
I
a
still
good
don't,
track record.
I don't think it's
Yeah.
bad.
Well, can you
What?
do have it?
I don't think it's
No,
bad.
I agree.
Oh, I
I
beg your
don't
pardon.
think it's a bad
I
track
know-
record. It's just
Well, it's
How
How
Yes,
many?
been
Wait,
married
wait, just a
4
question.
times yet.
How many boyfriends have you had?
Thank you.
boyfriends, a lot of boyfriends.
How many serious relationships?
2,
So, I mean,
Same
it's
damn
it's a.
thing.
but a lot of.
I haven't
I know
had
you
any.
didn't say
Same
commit
damn
I beat you
on the
all.
dotted line, but unfortunately, marriage is a contract, and you can renegotiate the contract.
Exactly.
Well, that's what you believe. That's what you
What it
believe.
is.
That's what you
I
believe.
That's what it
understand.
is.
I'm
It's a
just
con-
saying
if you
that
believe it's
If it
illegal,
doesn't work, you
it's
gotta
also a
go.
contract before God, and it's also a commitment to another person for the rest of your life. When you make those vows, you make those vows for the rest of your life. Some
What if
hard
that
to-
person is
it's
Some
hard
people
abusing you?
have
What if that
It's hard
person's
to keep the
abusing you?
vows,
So-
though.
Yeah,
when
I
the other
agree.
Hey,
person is
if
in
they're-
bed with
if
I
they're
another
agree, but
woman.
we
It's
do live
so
in
hard.
a culture that makes it real easy
No, I
to
don't
slip
agree
in
with
and
that.
out of divorce and back into marriage.
But
and
back
into
in- but wait,
divorce.
just a second, just-
You're
and
very
back into
fortunate,
marriage.
Kate. It's all working out
No,
for you.
But
no,
wait,
no,
wait.
Okay,
it's
I'm
not
going to
all-
make an
it's not all
intervention here
worked
because
out.
this is difficult for me. You're like a little bird tweeting in my ear, and I can't concentrate on what's going on over here because you're always tweeting.
But it's not always
So
me.
Jane,
I
I'm
want
aligning
you.
with you.
I want you to follow what I suggested before. When you talk, I really want you to have the floor. I want the camera to be on you, and I want everybody, the whole universe, to be listening to you. And anything that you do other than that is a disservice to you.
Jane, I think I was in synchronicity with you because I was feeling it just around the same time. The question was going through my mind. I wanted to say to you, you can't stop, can you? But then I thought, well, I don't know if it's true that she absolutely
look at
can,
yourself in the
but it
mirror
seemed
first,
like
but anyway.
like almost that. Like you just have to go on and that
Here's a
picture.
note.
See, you're doing it now.
No, but
Just listen.
it's hypocrisy.
Listen and talk when people have stopped. Or if you want to I just interrupted you.
Yeah.
If you want to interrupt, then you interrupt effectively and you talk when they have stopped. But if all you're doing 90% of the time is talking over people, you'll never get heard. And we've talked in the group about Barbara was never heard. Well, she can't be heard. The way she's functioning prohibits her from being heard.
They're all over talking each
So I
other.
want to know what this part of the group thinks.
I have something to say. I just didn't want to.
Go ahead and include them.
Yeah.
Include
I have
them.
this. Okay, yeah. Gotcha.
Figure out a way to include
I'm
them.
ready to say to her.
Who is this guy anyway?
Hi, I'm Frank Craven.
Hi, Frank.
I think that relationships
topic.
should not be discussed or worried about. They either work or they don't work, and it just flows. You naturally enjoy each other's company, and you groove together, and it's a working relationship. You have to worry about it, and nitpick, and think about it, and you scratch your brains and analyze it. Forget about it. Come on. If people can be friends and love each other and enjoy a healthy relationship, or if they have to tear it apart and analyze it and worry and suffer, then please get over it. Don't
Not
even
that
waste time.
simple, David.
Are you in
Yeah,
a
so
healthy
when you
relationship
have
right now,
children-
Frank?
Nobody's in a
Yeah.
healthy
Wait a minute, you have
relationship.
children with him?
Of course, I've been in a,
Oh.
I'm often in,
but she
have
said
many healthy relationships throughout my life. And now I've been with a girl for the past 2 years, and it's fun. I enjoy being with her. She makes me happy.
Well, I think that I don't know what you guys think, but I certainly know what they think on this side of the room, that marriage really should have a little, as least commitment as possible.
I
And
beg
that
your
there's
pardon.
no value
I-
in being married, or working things out, or thinking you are taking that contract seriously than a more legal contract. I think if you're married.
I'm sorry, I have to
Phoebe,
interrupt again.
I
I'm
want
sorry.
to finish the
I-
three. I want to hear
And,
from
and
Adrian.
Walter, I will let you as soon as I say what I have to say. There is a rule about group therapy, and that is that there's no subgrouping. So if one person is talking, you don't begin a discussion, over on the other side of the room, 2 people here, 2 people here. Because I have to monitor everything that's happening. I have to know, and I can't listen to 2 conversations simultaneously. So Barbara, you have got to stop doing what you're doing. I don't know how to get you to stop.
What am I doing? I
You're-
haven't said a word.
No, you were. When they were talking, you still were. You were twittering. You've got to stop twittering like a little bird flying around my ear.
I want,
Oh, fuck it, I'm not saying a word.
Well, that it would be an
Never
interest.
mind.
No,
I do
Barbara,
have things to say.
it
Say
would
that
be
after the show.
it would be a really interesting experiment for you to actually sit with yourself long enough to listen to people and not say a word for a while. Try that
I'll
as
talk
an
to you after the show.
No, I don't want you to talk to people after the show. I want everything that is happening in the group to happen in this half-hour session. But part of what's happening is that you're being disruptive to me and to the group process by continuing to Twitter around. So I do want you to learn. If I accomplish anything in this group, I want to help Barbara to be able to listen.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot myself in the
what came up to me, Barbara,
You
was this
shouldn't. You
idea-
shouldn't want to shoot yourself in the head. You should say, "Hallelujah! Somebody is finally really interested in helping me with my main dysfunction."
What I wanted to say to you, Barbara, I don't know if this would be a good idea, but it entered my mind to propose a
Oh, don't
Don't
propose.
propose.
Don't propose.
Don't say the word
Don't
speech
say
or
propose.
verbal combat with you,
I don't want to get into
Really
combat. We have enough war in this world.
wherever the situation is.
I don't want it in the
mean,
group anymore.
I hate to tell you,
I'm
Walter.
just-
My bet would be on Barbara.
Well,
Should beat you,
why?
hands down.
Well, no.
Adrian got a kick out
No
of that.
holds on loudness, so.
Just wanted you to
use
know, Carol,
loudness
I
to
do
get
care.
heard.
Okay. Anyway, that's not why we're here.
You
We're
need an
here.
audience and you.
Fair share of being heard by her.
Except
And I
for
would
me,
compete for that.
the rules are different for me because I am the group analyst, but except for me, the rules are that you're to put your thoughts and feelings into words. You're not to engage in warfare.
Well, but this.
If
is-
you have
I'm
a
talking
feeling-
about a verbal
If you have a
combat.
feeling.
Wasn't this about Carol?
For relationships and marriage, what do you
I
think?
mean, I don't know where it got to be
Yeah, Adrian.
about
Yeah, but
me.
Jane switched to you
Uh,
because
No, but
you
I
were,
didn't make
as
it
you would
about
say,
me.
were
Okay,
twittering. You were
another
talking on and
rule
on.
was just broken, so I want to pay
Yeah.
attention to
And it
that.
wasn't me.
Frank, we have a no touching rule because everything is discharged into words. So you had a friendly feeling toward Adrian, which is why you tapped him on the shoulder. So I would rather you say in words, "Hey, Adrian, I'm kind of feeling a little interested in you, so what do you think?"
I think the union and marriage has changed over the year. People's perception of it, like right now, we have reality TV shows where people are getting married. I mean, yeah, you have your views on marriage. Other people have their views, but the traditional view and the modern view is totally different. People get married. Some people consider it as a business. Some people consider it as a life partner. Some people do it because that's what they think they need to do in their life. So it's like 1 to 4 that you're going to get divorced. More than half of the people are not going to stay married. But if that's her decision, she may want to make that again. You learn everything that you do is a learning process, and she made 2 choices in her life that the third time she may be the charm.
Well, the
So,
third time's not looking too good. That's what I'm
But
getting at.
from
You know, I mean,
from
Why
once
is it
I'm
not looking
divorced.
good?
I was divorced once too. I mean, We're all allowed one mistake, right, in our lives.
One.
I haven't made any.
It's
I haven't
get
made any.
one.
a chance to
May not have been a
embark
mistake.
on the rest of your life without the baggage of that marriage. I don't feel like it was a mistake.
Right, right.
And I'm not mad at my ex-husband. I had a
Which
healthy
ex?
marriage
Which
and I have a
ex?
heach divorce.
Which ex?
That helps.
I can
I
say
don't know
that.
which one you're referring to, that's
Okay. Both of them. I've been divorced twice, but still, I don't think that makes me have a bad track record.
Okay, then what would you say a good track record would be if that's not a bad one? 5 divorces, would that put you in the bad category? 6, 2,
I
10?
wouldn't put
That's
anybody,
good and
I wouldn't have
bad.
the nerve to put
There is no
anybody
bad.
I don't
in the
think
There is no
bad
bad.
category
the
just
issue.
because they
I
got
don't think that's
divorced.
the
No, if you
issue.
get
I don't care how
divorced,
many times.
I'm more concerned about the fact she's hanging on to a relationship for 17
I'm not
years.
hanging on as
Right.
tight as I was,
Right,
and
all
I
right.
am making progress in that. I do take an interest in other men, and I've dated other men, but I keep going back to,
That's a good sign.
my heart keeps pulling me back to David, and I hate it. I do. I wish,
You need a stint.
I don't, you're right, it is unhealthy
Yeah.
that I keep hanging on. It is true,
Mhm.
and I hope you can continue to, like, talk to me and say things that I can hear and really grow from and know better.
Do you think you consciously compare other men to him?
Absolutely, no
Oh.
question. He was
Well,
funny as hell, very stylish, very handsome, smart, and just fun. We had so much fun. And, I don't feel like crying this week when I'm talking about him.
But you compare
It's
him
okay,
to other
Karen.
guys. and that can
Well,
be
I
bad
compare
to
other guys too.
By the way, I want to say something about crying, because my
Yeah.
patients cry. I have a box of Kleenex, so they're even told it's okay to cry.
Yeah.
But what I don't allow is that they cry and don't talk simultaneously.
Oh.
As long as if you're expressing a feeling by crying and you're talking also, it's perfectly fine. The crying to me is kind of incidental. It's the talking that matters. But the crying is not incidental to your body, because they've analyzed the chemical composition of tears, and they find that there are more toxins that are released in tears of sadness than tears of happiness.
That's pretty healthy.
It's more,
No, it's not. Not if you do it every day.
more than, more in tears of sadness
Than
than
in tears of happiness.
Wow.
More toxins are released.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a good
What gets
detox.
released in tears of happiness, I wonder?
I just want to touch on one other thing, and I'll shut up. It's enough. But when you guys wanted to choke him for me, I just want to say, I don't feel that way. I don't have any, I know that people can't really help how they feel. And if he didn't feel as in love with me as I felt in love with him, I'm not mad at him. I'm just sad about it.
You're disappointed.
I don't know if
Yeah.
I buy that, Carol, after a certain age in life that you can't help how you feel. I believe that with maturity and even what the process that we're going through now is that you'll learn to gauge your feelings. You'll learn to what to allow to express to others, what not to allow. I think that's part, an 8-year-old can't help how they feel. I'd like to think that as
No,
we
But
grow
that's
older,
can't-
not
No,
necessarily true, Kay.
you can't
It's
help
not
what you
necessarily
think.
it's not some,
I
You
agree
can't
with you
help
on
how
that.
you
I
feel.
know, that's not that true.
That's
It's
what I
not that
believe.
simple.
And I know everybody has their own
I agree
beliefs.
with
Like,
that.
I don't have a spiritual background like you do. And I don't, when you
That's
bring that
not
up,
true.
it kind of.
You're spiritual.
Well,
Come on.
she meant
What do you
religious. She
mean?
meant religious more than
Yeah.
Spiritual is
Yeah.
completely
She
different.
meant
I beg
religious.
your pardon.
That's
I beg
different.
your
meant
Don't
religious.
compare the two.
I did mean religious.
She remembered, yeah,
I
I know
do
what you
feel
mean.
a little spiritual, and I feel
You're
very
very
intuitive
spiritual.
at times. And
Yeah.
but anyway, I know everybody's different, and for me, I know that I can't help how I feel, and I don't think he could help how he feels.
Well, it was interesting. They did this earthquake thing in Haiti
I
this
think
week,
you
and they were
could. I think, my opinion straight
they
out,
were. Excuse me.
I know,
They were talking about how the people that go, the rescuers, are taught training and courses of how not to get caught up in their feelings that they can't help while they're trying to save somebody in a very crisis situation.
How involved with those people are
Right,
they?
well, right, so the thing that they can't help what they feel, they put them in training programs so that they can help what they feel in a certain circumstance.
But this is a guy she was in love with.
They actually train seeing eye dogs by getting them to not feel. They deliberately make them depressed
That's sick.
in order for the training to
Really?
take place.
Ugh.
And so I think it's it's
That's
kind
very
of similar.
sad to
Boot
me.
Yes.
camp training, people, soldiers are trained to follow orders,
Right.
not feel.
They don't just
in
feel because they're
order.
going there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what happens.
So
with
that
people.
doesn't make you mature if you can control your feelings. All the
No.
stories
This
of
isn't
Oh, yes,
our
it does.
history are
Not
about
control.
love, crazy love.
I
Being
say
under
it does.
control of
Right,
feelings,
right,
it doesn't
right.
make sense. So if
Right.
you have feelings, and it doesn't make sense, but you just feel it.
Exactly.
Right.
And God bless it.
But
That's
whether
the
you
control
act
to
on it
have.
or not,
The
whether you
control is to
act
have
on
the
it like an
choice.
8-year-old or act on it like an adult, that is entirely up to you.
Carol, do you think
Up
the
to you, entirely up to you, whether you control it by shh
No,
or
no, not by
go all the way with feeling it. That's
Carol,
what I
do
think
you
is the
think this
best,
has
and it's the
anything to do with
best to
your
go
parents?
all the way with feeling it. But sometimes
Well, tell a
you
stalker
can't in
that.
some
you know?
situations.
It's-
You have to
they're off the
postpone
track,
it.
though. Everything's off the track.
No, Barbara, he's on his track. It's
Go
just
ahead.
not the track you're on.
Well,
You can't say he's off the
I
track.
wanna
think
finish
this
what I was
group
saying
always
to
gets off
Carol.
the track on a topic. We get on the topic
I
and
want-
then we're over on the
I want to
tangent.
finish what I was saying to Carol about the sad feeling. Try to be as simple as I can. People have a great capacity for modifying and keeping their feelings on a low key, whether quietly or vocalizing or in any situation. And our feelings, and I think a feeling like you're having, the sadness, can get deeper and more intense. And it will be, it's in the middle now, and if you bring it to the full intensity, you will be getting closer to the end.
She did last week.
Can
She
you just
cried last
shh
week.
for a moment?
I was asking you, do you think perhaps that you're afraid to let this guy go because you didn't get approval from your parents, and he's the one thing you're hanging on to because you don't have anything else to go on to next? And you said you are comparing other guys to him, which is dangerous in a sense, because what if you meet somebody who's really nice?
Well, she's known him for 17 years, right? You said
That's a
17.
long
Were you
time.
married at the time?
No,
No, she didn't have an affair. She just, but I'm just saying that if you can keep, if you spend 17 years with somebody who really didn't feel what you felt, and you're comparing other potential suitors to this man who disappointed you for whatever
I'm not
reason.
consciously
No, it's not.
comparing.
No, but that's
or
where the therapy
deliberately
comes in.
comparing,
You know what I mean?
but I am definitely
But
comparing.
do you try to understand the reasoning behind it? Like
See,
why?
now, the reason why I get a little suspicious about, I mean, when you say, I can't help what I feel, and I'm just, he can't help what he feels, and I just don't feel angry at him, she's just chirping in my ear all the time. And even though she's next to me, so, it's a little louder than it is next to your ear, I can't believe that when you start to say something and that she overrides you, that you don't feel angry.